Okay, I just woke up from a headache, like a major headache session. Yeah, we had a major migraine session going right now since the morning, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Insane. I took some rest. I'm back. And when I came out of the session, the migraine session, I figured out how to finally use MDX. MDX is a Markdown writing tool. I'll just show it to you. You can use JavaScript components in Markdown. Markdown is the thing that you write your README files in, if you know what that means. And I've created this app, a sample app, which I'm going to use as my blog now, and I'm going to show it to everyone. So yeah. Alright, so this is the website that I have right now. This is the one that I've made. And I wrote a blog for this video, so you can just see how it is and you'll be surprised. This is Markdown. This is not an HTML page. I didn't write an HTML page. I wrote Markdown and it rendered this. It rendered JSX components. It rendered everything for me. It rendered the images, the code blocks, and it did it perfectly. It did it so beautifully. Look at the code. Look at the buttons. Look at the effects. Look at the form. Everything. I'll show you the markdown right now. Look at this. This is the same thing right here. Both of these are the same things. It's insane. And I'm going to show you how to set it up. So get excited about that, right? Alright, while this is happening, I'll explain everything to you. Astro is a way of creating websites which ships zero JavaScript by default, which is what I've heard from actually smart people who know what they're talking about. Very desirable. You don't want JavaScript to be shipped with your app. A lot of JavaScript at least. And the best part of this kind of architecture that Astro uses, it's called the component island architecture. You can choose what components you want to ship JavaScript with. Next.js just introduced server components and client components. I think that it's basically the same thing. I'm not sure. But Astro by default, it doesn't ship any JavaScript. So if you create a button, if you use useState, you use React components in Astro, you can use Vue components, you can use any components. If you use those components in Astro, they will be non-interactive. They won't ship any JavaScript in them. So if you use useState or use effect, they won't run because JavaScript is not being shipped to the browser. Alright, so this is the basic setup that you get with the blog thing. If you choose the basic blogs template, this is what you get. You can go to the blog, you can check out using MDX and everything. And it will style it for you. It will style everything. It works. You can see that. But once you go to the code, it's now, baby, I'm alright. Crash in my place, baby, you're alright. And everything works right now. This is the pages, this is the blog, this is the slug. I can't explain everything to you right now. But if you just try and figure this out, you'll figure it out. I believe in you. Let's just say that. But once you set up Yarn, Astro, and that's how we run things in Astro. Astro at Tailwind. And keep pressing Y. Just trust Tailwind. Just keep pressing Y at everything. Now, as you can see, Tailwind has been installed. Tailwind is the Astro app is already running on a terminal. Everything has been installed. Let's shut that down. Let's go to Astro config and check all of this out. Now MDX has been already default installed on this, and now Tailwind is installed as well. So if we go to VS Code and if we go to index.astro and we say I want the P to be of text red 500, and that should work. Let's go back to home And that works. Of course it does, because Tailwind has been taken care of by Astro. That's it. That's all we had to do in Astro to set up Tailwind. But unfortunately, when you go back to Tailwind and you check out Tailwind config, it affects all apps. So Markdown and MDX apps will be affected by Tailwind, this Tailwind configuration as well. So once you go to the Markdown style guide again, everything will be set to default. It won't work. To get this to work, you have to do some things, alright, to choose the style, because right now the same style is being applied to everything. It's not checking if it's a hash component. So basically in Markdown, this is the head one h1 component. You can think of it as the h1 component from HTML. h1, h2, h3, the size gets smaller as you go down here, but that isn't being reflected here because Tailwind is overwriting all of those styles on the web. What is happening here is that this Markdown is being converted to HTML by Astro and its plugins. It's based on Rehype and Remark plugins, if you know what that means. I don't, definitely, so I'll just shut up about it. I'm going to make it work. Alright, yarn, this is how I figured out how to do it. Yarn add rehype add classes. This applies the chosen classes to the HTML elements that will be compiled or generated is a better word from the Markdown files themselves. So this h1 thing over here will be converted to an h1 tag, and this plugin will just add some classes that we specify to that h1 tag. So let's go to Astro config again. Astro config. Let's import. No, I don't want to follow that. Let's import add classes from rehype add classes, and well, let's go over here. We are going to select Markdown, and we are going to go to Rehype plugins. We are going to add another array in this, and we are going to add classes, and then we are going to add our default classes. And just paste it over here. Done. And let's put a comma there. And everything should be done. Let's format this. Let's save it. Now, as you will see, if we go back to our thing and if we inspect this element and we check out the elements themselves, the styles have been added, but they are not being showed over here. I wonder why. Well, it took me one entire day to figure it out, and I'm going to give it to you in 2 seconds. So you should consider yourself lucky that I'm here for you. You should be thanking me, alright, that I'm doing this for you. I'm just joking. So you just have to go to Tailwind configs, and there's, I think, a safe list. Yeah, it's a safe list, and you have to put the arrays of all the classes that you think are safe for Tailwind to use. Alright, I don't know. So if I put 4XL, now that means that the class that I've applied on the h1 tag is valid and it will work. Similarly, if I use all of these that GitHub Copilot is asking me to use, well, then that will solve a lot of my problems over here if we reload this page right now. Basically, a lot of the things that weren't working before work because all of these classes are being used. So basically what's happening here is that all of these classes, I'm telling Tailwind that, man, all of these classes are safe to apply. It worked. Alright, I didn't do anything. I was worried about this for like 5 or 6 hours. I was like not able to figure out why the Tailwind classes are not working for me. I just pressed Control and space over here and I saw safe list. I wonder what that is. I just checked that out. I checked what input it takes, and GitHub Copilot just told me to take this, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. And then it seemed to work, and I was like, cool, I don't mind that. So this works, but you can't go on and add all of your things, right? So what the thing that I found was helpful here is to do this. That's basically, if I go here and say this and do this, and I'm importing the Markdown rehype plugins, basically rehype plugins. So it's this thing right here, and then I'm going to the first element and selecting the second element of that element over here. That's exactly what I'm doing over here. And then when I'm exporting the thing, I'm not exporting it, I'm exporting the promise. I'm exporting the promise, and then I'm taking the imported component or rehype plugin thing, and then I'm doing some things to it which I don't care to explain to you right now. You can check it out, and yeah, I think it should work. It should definitely work. I'm confident about this. So let's shut down my old project right now. I'm going to shut it out. I just had to remove the Tailwind typography plugin because I hadn't installed it in this project. So yeah, everything works now. These are my unique classes that I've set over here in my Astro configuration. Each one of these has been split and put into this list, and the unique set has been taken. I like my stuff to be dynamic. All right, I'm not going to go and I'm going to set each and every class over there in the safe list. No, fuck out of here, man. I'm not doing that. All right. So now if we go back to our website, everything should still work, and everything does still work because I put it in the safe list. Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. And now you can do your thing. You can go to home, you can change your things. Now I'm going to show you the MDX, how MDX works. MDX is great. MDX, as you can see, it has imported the header link from header link. And if you go over here, so let me open, yeah, okay, so let's open this file using MDX in our blog. Let's go to blog, let's using MDX, and you might be able to see the embedded element over here. This is a JavaScript, this is a JSX element over here. So let me add a class to it. Not a class. Let's create a new element component. Let's create a default.tsx. Let's get our FCE out here, and then wow, okay, we haven't installed React. That's crazy. Astro add React. I'm sorry guys, that's my bad. Yes, just keep pressing yes to everything. I love Astro's command line tooling, man. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to import this component in my Markdown, or more importantly MDX. So we are going to import default from not Astro, it's TSX, or maybe just default. Maybe it will work. Let's write the default component here. Let's do that, and let's see if that works. Could not pass import exports with. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Yep, that's a problem. And so as you can see, it's here. A default component, my button is here. Click me is here. So let's go to default component. Let's change it to I am a React component, which it is. So it is a React component, and it is perfect. It is perfect. It's got the count right here. Let's delete the embedded link right here. Delete that whole thing. And now we have a count and a React component. Let's remove everything, the default Markdown over here. Alright, now we have a default React component over here. But on click, it should increase the count, right? And it's not happening. Well, Astro has this thing that I told you about. It won't load any JavaScript by default. So now if you tell it to load some JavaScript, it will, and it will start working. You can literally do anything right now. You can import any npm package and use it in your Markdown files as blogs. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've done actually. That's what I've done for my blog. So there it is. I've told you everything that I know about Astro. I don't know anything else about Astro. So you've squeezed me of all my 2 days of earned wisdom. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. I'm going to get out of here and sleep so I don't ever get a headache again. Bye-bye.